For the purposes of this video, imagine that I did not wear glasses. This would be the type of chapter where I would put on glasses even if I did not need them. Even if I did not have a prescription. I would go to my doctor, I would show them the final panel of this week's chapter, and they would give me these glasses for free. Now you may be asking, why would they do such a thing? It's because there's a name at the end of this chapter that would make anyone want to look at it with as clear a vision as possible. Because we need to see it with 2020. We might even need to go up to 25. I don't know if such a thing exists, but it might be created just to see this thing in the way it's supposed to be seen. Because at the end of this week's chapter of the best-selling manga in history, we received a panel that was so legendary that I'm here recording this video, even though this is not the official Afterthoughts. Afterthoughts ain't coming out till later on this week. But nothing was stopping me from talking about this chapter. Because, ladies and gentlemen, if I'm walking down the street, someone calls me up and I'm like, yes, everything's good? Good to go? Yeah, no. I was just talking to the GOAT. I was just talking to St. J. Garcia Saturn. They're going to be like, whoa, stop the presses. Stop the presses. He was just talking to him. He was talking to him. H-I-M. From the top of the Holy Land. From the top of the Mighty Jaw. Scar down his eye. Rocking the dready dreads. Ooh. All the way down from Saturn. St. J. Garcia himself. Oh man, bro, let me tell you something. My doctor would be like, son, you need these glasses immediately. And I'd be like, I know. And I would come home. I'd go to the final panel. I would see Kizaru talking to this legendary individual. And then I would see him. The glasses would fling onto my face. I'm talking, ooh. Even a second pair of glasses might show up. And like the triple Santa hats, you would get, there's 3 glasses. Because you need every single type of visual flair that you can possibly attain to look at this panel with your own eyes. As a member of the Gorosei is not sitting in the room of talking. He's not sitting in the room of vague explanations that we're not going to find out what they're talking about for 800 chapters. Absolutely not. He's no longer in that room. He's no longer within the room that when we switch to that room, we know stuff is mopping off. He's not in the room in which Shanks came in with the hood and was like, brother, I need to talk about a certain pirate. Like he was about to drop a bar. Like he was featured. Like the Gorosei around here is a boy band trying to put a song together, a hit single, and Shanks popped up like he was just going to be the featured dude. Like, yeah, man, this will sell some records. And he came in there, yo, hood on and ready to go in. I ain't never seen such a thing in my life. We go from there to seeing the next time that we see the Gorosei, they're out here talking about Nika. Sun God Nika. And you're like, what in the world is going on? Who are they talking about? And this fruit of legend that apparently has been passed down and is evading them, right? It's like, yo, what are we doing? What are we doing here? And then the next time we see them, they're shook. They couldn't expect such a thing. Then they're like, yo, Lucia, how unfortunate. How unlucky. They always have something to say. In the room of vague information. And here he leaves the room of vague information, a situation that all of us were anticipating back in Wano. Where whenever we were in Onigashima, we were like, what about if one of the members of the Gorosei shows up himself to stop this man to go with the coat? We're like, yo, imagine that. Imagine he says, screw the buster call, I'm heading there myself. This is Nika. I need to take care of him myself. And Oda was like, no. Absolutely not. Not yet. Not yet. Because there's going to be a chapter in chapter 1073 that is going to take place on January, whatever, 31st, 27th. It might as well be 300. 2023, where the highest authority in the world, one of the 5 elders, elder stars, elder planets, the elders, the Gorosei, Saint J. Garcia Saturn would appear within the manga. And not just within the manga. Not only do we get his nameplate, not only do we get the Oda box that states who he is and what he's all about. No. He's here with Kizaru, whom we know is headed where? He's heading to the land of Dr. Robotnik, apparently. He's heading to the good old Futurama. Oh, he wants to collect all the seasons, and I can't blame him because that's a phenomenal show. Phenomenal show. His favorite character is probably Bender. Who knows? Who knows? His favorite episode is probably the one with the dog. I don't know, man. But what I do know is that Saint J. Garcia Saturn, I'm going to say this 3 times. Saint J. Garcia Saturn. Saint J. Garcia Saturn. This dude is about to show up at Egghead Island. I've been wondering, what does Oda have in store for the fact that I've been seeing the Gorosei too much. I've been seeing them too much lately. Too much. I saw them once every 5 years, and I'm seeing them once every 5 chapters. I saw them in a filler episode, I saw them in Film Red, and then I saw them in One Piece Odyssey. At the very first scene is the Gorosei. I saw them in a screenshot. I'm like, do you want people to buy the game or have their house get loose yet? I don't know. And Oda was like, of course I'm showing the Gorosei. When we switch to the Marijoa now, we're cooling. They're leaving the Marijoa. They're exiting the Marijoa. And what St. J. Garcia Saturn is about to do here in Egghead Island is what I want to talk about today. We can save the rest of this insane chapter for the afterthoughts. But we got to talk about some interesting scenarios here, all right? Shout out to my cousin Adrian, who called me and we had an hour-long conversation about this man and about the potential scenarios. And y'all, if what one of my commenters in the live reaction stream stated is true, and we continue the parallels in which Luffy punching the Celestial Dragon is going to be paralleled here with Luffy punching Mr. Saturn, that is going to be one of the most goated moments in all of anime and manga, period. Period. This man is obviously a warrior. You can tell by the scar on his face, so he's not going to get walloped like Mr. St. Charles. He's probably going to get sent flying, but he's not going to be down for the count. This dude is nasty. You can see it on his face, the experience, the battle scars. I know shonen. I know people who throw hands. This guy throw hands. Oh, man, you want to talk about a dude that throws hands? St. J. Garcia Saturn. If I saw him in a fighting game, if I saw this man in Street Fighter Alpha 3, Alpha 2, Alpha 3 Max, if I saw him in Third Strike, if I saw him in Ultra Street Fighter 4, if I saw him in Street Fighter 5, the Champions Edition, or if I see him in Street Fighter 6, or Tekken 8, or King of Fighters, Virtua Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Smash Bros. I am picking the dude whose name is St. J. Garcia Saturn. You look at the scar on his face and you know that man has seen war. He's seen battle. He has seen battle. Imagine a scenario where Kizaru pulls up, and this is, of course, is basing all of this on the fact that Monkey D and the rest of them are still on Egghead Island by the time Kizaru actually gets there. Right? Because this ship appears to be going at some sort of slow speed. But of course, they're on the sea. I mean, you're with a legend here. There's no need for turbulence out on the seas. Absolutely not. So they're taking their time. Who knows if they'll make it in time, but this is just a hypothetical scenario, right? Kizaru pulls up, and we're all expecting Admiral versus Emperor's crew greatness. I don't care if Kizaru shows up, and it's like, yo, Sabaody all over again, except this time, Admiral, Straw Hats, let's box. Luffy's gonna be like, yo, I'm ready to go. Dun, 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 dun. Zoro's gonna be like, yo, have you ever seen the king? The king? Ooh! Oh, and he tosses right in the mouth. Ooh! 3 swords. Sanji, who I just saw do an instant transmission last chapter, is ready for Kizaru. Oh, man. He was so fast. He made it there. My man Zoro was like, yo, where did this man come from? In this week's chapter of One Piece, Zoro not only clashed with S-Hawk, a.k.a. Kid Hawk, a.k.a. Seraphim Meat-Hawk, Sanji showed up and instant transmissioned there. He said, I'm ready for Kizaru. Oh, does Kizaru want to see my cook? Who knows? Borsalino's nasty, but is he cooking in the kitchen? Is he making burgers? How good is his steak skill? Who knows? The only thing I know is that the black leg is waiting. Kurohashi no Sanji, Roro no Azoro, and the go with the coat, they're waiting. When he pulls up, same when Greenville was about to pull up, oh, the boys will be waiting. Add Jinbei in the mix, add Frankie in the mix. Ooh! They don't want to see us. They don't want to see us. We're too filthy. We're too filthy. So Kizaru shows up. Let's just say hypothetical situation. Pops in. Laser beams and all. I don't care if he covers the whole island in light. Like we were talking about the Voice Entry podcast. Shout out to the Voice Entry podcast. We were talking about the potential awakenings for the Logias, right? Especially in Kizaru's case. We believe it might be the first person that we're going to see awakened. Whatever his awakening does, it's going to engulf the entire island. That's what we all assume, right? So if the stars are still here, Kizaru comes in, awakens, stuff is going to Flagner's. What would be so hype and a great way to showcase how legendary the Gorosei are would be for Zoro to do something very similar that he normally does, where he reads someone's abilities and or finds someone else to be more formidable than the person in front of him. So Kizaru's about to pull up, and Zoro's like, he's just smelling. You smell that? And you just look over to the side. Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji. Kizaru's in front of them. And there's gonna be no disrespect to Kizaru, absolutely not. But they're gonna look to the side. And there. Hold on, bro. Do I have something I can stand on? Yo. Imagine this is the king. He's just in St. J. Garcia Saturn. He's just sitting there on the warship. And he's just watching. He's just looking at him. And you have all of the monster trio being like, yo, who in the world is that? Kizaru pops up. Boom! They clash. Luffy's like, wait, yo, that guy's a little spooky over there, right? Like, hold up, man. You just see him menacingly. He's looking. He's looking. I don't care what happens from then on out. I don't care if Kizaru fights Sanji. I don't care if Zoro fights Kizaru or if Luffy fights Kizaru. But as long as that man watches until it gets to the point to where he potentially has to get involved himself, get out. Because we all know what's going to happen, right? There's a reason why the system was put into place into which the Gorosei are going to have control over the Seraphims. They're going... this individual, St. J. Garcia Saturn, is going to turn the Seraphims on the Straw Hats, and that's going to cause a scenario where either we're going to have to run or we're going to have to fight. One of the two scenarios. I'm going to assume we're going to have to run just based on the fact that we're trying to get out of here, right? Especially with Kizaru and St. J. Garcia Saturn pulling up, right? So it's like, okay, potential clashes, but I would love to see this. I want to see Admiral versus Yonko, absolutely. I want to see Kizaru and Luffy going in, or Kizaru against one of the wings. Zoro or Sanji, or both. I don't care. I want to see it. But bro, a member of the Gorosei potentially getting a clash in with Luffy. Oh. And if he gets to hit him, Celestial Dragon, but like, yo, do you know who that is? Luffy's like, I don't care who he is. Bah! And he's like, oh, yeah, Joy Boy. If he calls him Joy Boy, I'm out, bro. Bro, this man rolls up to him, doesn't even call him Luffy. He's like, yo, Joy Boy, what's good? Like, he goes down below, like, yo, Joy Boy, what's good, my boy? Goes, hey, I was just testing it. Let me tell you, if this dude moves in any capacity besides simply just turning the switch on the S units for them to go and box the Straw Hats, I mean, just him doing that is going to be amazing. But if he flexes his own abilities, oh no, bro, that's going to be the day. And so then I get into the other scenario that I was talking about with my cousin. Because that's some of the Straw Hats, assuming they're here. Now we assume Straw Hats leave. Stuff is going nuts now, right? Stuff is going absolutely nuts. Vegapunk thing, the disappearance thing, we'll talk about that in the afterthoughts. All that stuff is going crazy. They pop up in like swimwear, like, yo, we jetting. We out of here. We are out of here. They make it out. They go to the moon, to Elbaf, to I don't care where they go. They're just not going to be here. You know what I'm saying? The Magic Johnson. I'm not going to be here. You know what I mean? That's going to be them. That's going to be the Straw Hats. And it might not even be due to their own choice. They just got to split. They got to get out of there. So they leave. Mr. St. J. Garcia Saturn and Kizaru pull up to the aftermath of what is taking place here. Dragon. Bro, I was losing my sanity about a potential clash between Dragon and Kizaru. Because the thing is, I just want Kizaru to clash with anyone. I don't care if he recreates the Rayleigh attack with Sanji, if we have a Kizaru versus Zoro, because that would directly parallel the Sabaody stuff. I don't care, man. I don't Luffy go to Kizaru, I don't care. I want to see Kizaru clash with someone. But this man, Dragon pulling up in order to get to Vegapunk and or Kuma, appears on Egghead Island, and meeting him face to face is St. J. Garcia Saturn. Let me tell y'all something, bro. There's been a lot of hype moments in this series. That might be the best chapter. I mean, it's hard for me to even say that because it feels like 2023 is going to be filled with his best chapter of the years, apparently. We've had like 3 of them already. But, bro, I have been waiting the entire series. As a longtime fan, I've dreamt of scenarios with the part-timers boxing each other. Or at the very least clashing. I don't even need a box. I just need them to flex. I need a conversation, man. Dude. With this man Oda talking about this person and that person and this person and that person, there will be no crazier this person versus that person than if Dragon pulls up to Egghead Island. St. J. Garcia Saturn turns and we see Monkey D. Dragon flexing whatever he's got. I don't care if he's got the wind fruit, some sort of weather manipulation hockey, if he's rocking just goat hockey, if he's just, I'm like, my name is Monkey D. Dragon and that's it. I don't care. I don't care if his tattoo comes alive and he starts fighting as a stand. I don't care. The fact remains that when I see those two looking at each other face to face, that is automatic chapter of the year until I see Shanks again. I mean, or Gear 5. Or Gear 5. I mean, but at this point, Hachinosu could be just as great. But still, Dragon and St. J. Garcia Saturn. If we get a scenario where the two of them, we finally get to see what a member of the Gorosei can actually do. Whether their hockey's just on that level, what ability does he have? Is he just filthy with a blade? I don't know, man. I don't know what he does, but I'm excited to see. But if he just flexes a bit, and Dragon, like my cousin said earlier, takes off his coat, brother, the moment Dragon takes off the coat, I'm screaming. Oh, and he just flexes. I don't care if it's Conqueror's hockey, like I said, his wind. I don't know, man. I don't care if he brings down NL. Or the sun and the moon themselves. We turn into Super Mario Galaxy out here. It don't matter. It's Dragon and Saint Garcia. Bro, if those two have a moment where they're just looking at each other and the pages are ripping apart, that's all I can ever ask for. All I want is for Dragon to do anything. And for us to see the Gorosei doing Gorosei things, and then we'll know for sure. I know. I'm solidified in my beliefs that the Gorosei are nasty. I know this, but look at the scars on their face. You telling me they haven't gone through battle? But this man, if he comes face to face with Dragon is face to face with the people he's declaring war on, that is going to be one of the best chapters in the entire series, just based on hype, let alone what type of lore information gets dropped in that chapter. Don't even get me started. And to know that that's going to be the beginning of post Egghead Island if it does take place, oh no. I mean, could you imagine that stretch? Dragon and St. Garcia Saturn split over to Hachinosu Island, see what the craziness happening with Garp and Blackbeard and Kobe and Pudding, and it's like, yo! Then we got over somewhere else. We might see Sabo, we might see Vivi. I mean, dog, post Egghead. The final saga is on a complete... The fact that I can make this video today and talk about a possible scenario, not impossible, possible scenario of Dragon potentially pulling up on St. Garcia Saturn is the craziest thing of all time. And the thing is we can all see it. We can see it. So, dog, I just want to see this man do his thing. Like I said, I don't care if it's against the Straw Hats, if it's against Dragon. I just want to see what this dude will do when presented with someone who is clearly a threat to their overarching objectives. In the biggest threat, Joy Boy. And in the other biggest threat, the Pops, whom they did reveries for, declares the most wanted criminal. Dragon and Saint, bro, that would be the most goated chapter. That chapter would send us all into oblivion. Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, ladies and gentlemen. I would be going through it, man. And you already know that is going to be the massive One Piece is on break next week chapter. You already know it deserves it. Chapter of the year level stuff. Dude, I feel sorry for anyone anime only that week. Oh, I really do. The moment Dragon does anything, oh, I feel sorry for any anime only. And if it's a member of the Gorosei, I would be like, no wonder Oda was holding off on Dragon. He had this in his mind. So, I just want to see it, bro. And it doesn't have to be that. Like, that's just an interesting scenario. What I want to see is what St. Garcia Saturn is going to do once getting to Egghead Island. Because he stated within this chapter that once a long time ago, he met Vegapunk. So obviously, Vegapunk has had a conversation with, at the very least, him. We don't know with the rest of the Gorosei members, but at the very least with him. What did they talk about? Who knows? It might even be connected to the Kuma Jewelry Bonnie stuff, right? Or potential Vegapunk wanted to get more information about what took place with the Iron Giant, or maybe he himself came to come visit the Iron Giant, right? Who knows? Because we don't know what stake he has within the game. But I'm so interested now that he's going to be involved, specifically because now we're going to know what his stake in all of this is, but also what his involvement is going to be in regards to when faced with somebody who is clearly, against him, or at least it appears to be, right? Because we still don't know what his, we assume he's extremely loyal to Instant Messenger Sama, but we can't really 100% tell. So with that being said, even without the hype scenarios, even without the going against Luffy and them or going against Dragon, whatever, if it's simply just he shows up and he gets to have a conversation with Vegapunk, I think that'd be one of the most interesting conversations in the series, because if he gets the opportunity to speak to Vegapunk, and we allude back to that original conversation, because Oda's not going to put something like once a long time ago and just not bring it up ever again. And especially he's talking about it's truly a shame. Like, he must have some sort of connection with Dr. Vegapunk, and I wonder how deep it goes. And I wonder what type of impression Dr. Vegapunk had on him specifically. And maybe he was the one that gave the order to eliminate Dr. Vegapunk, who knows? But I do want to see what would take place if he were to be the one to directly eliminate, because we remember at the beginning of this arc, a lot of us like Vegapunk could potentially die here. The Shaka unit specifically being like, this might be my time to go. So the Shaka unit confronting Dr. Vegapunk and him having his Clover moment, right, where Clover, before revealing the name of the ancient kingdom, was eliminated immediately with the Gorosei declaring the order. It would be very interesting in a parallel to that if St. J. Garcia Saturn does that himself, except it's the Shaka unit. And or Dr. Vegapunk. Though I do think Vegapunk at this point is going to get out of this island alive, potentially. If they release a Shaka unit, the one that believes that he's going to go down, does actually get taken out by St. J. Garcia Saturn. And right before he reveals the name of the Ancient Kingdom. Or something along those lines. I think that'd be super... Even if it's not even that, like maybe he reveals the name of the Ancient Kingdom here. Or says something just insane to where he just has no point but to take him out. And then once everyone else hears this, you're like, yo, we gotta dip. They're gonna eliminate us all. They're gonna Buster Call the island. You know, like, I think those are the interesting scenarios that I'm excited for when he shows up, because he's just such an impactful character that we know how the Gordos say everything they say it goes. So I'm just so interested in what his presence is going to create from a storytelling standpoint, from a hype standpoint, but especially when it comes to moments like that. Because once he's involved, all eyes are going to be on that. A member of the Gordos is on Egghead Island. We all want to see who he's going to interact with. You know, it doesn't matter who it is, it's going to be exciting. Really can't wait. If he shows up and the stars are still there, I want to see him react to Luffy. What he would say in that situation, if there's going to be any type of clashes or anything going on, if it's simply just turn the S unit, or will we have one of those moments, one of those One Piece moments, where a character dies attempting to declare something, and maybe that's whenever it's led on after that for the Straw Hats to carry that into the future, or whatever the case may be, considering this is going to be the arc to kickstart everything. Right, so we could have a major bombshell reveal, just like we did back in the original Sabaody Archipelago, which this arc is clearly. This arc has a lot of parallels with Punk Hazard and Sabaody and Eni's Lobby. So it's like, why not, if in classic Sabaody fashion, which we've already been having, in which we came so close to finding out so much about the lore piece there, right, and being introduced to Rayleigh and the One Piece nearly being revealed, the Void Century stuff that we're still talking about today. Right? Why not here as well? Even though we've already received a big clue into the origin of Bellfruits, as well as the actual truth behind the Void Century and about the future and the past and the futuristic stuff they had there. Like, that's massive information. But this is Oda we're talking about. And you know he always has something planned, something crazy in store. So all of us, we all know that Bonnie flashback is going to be key. The Kuma flashback is going to be the emotional thread that ties us all together. But in the midst of all of that, for a member of the Gorosei to show up, it might be undeniable that Egghead Island's a top 5 arc by the end of this. I still can't believe that this stuff that has been taking place thus far has been taking place. This arc is fantastic, and I can't wait to see what St. J. Garcia Saturn has in store for us. I will see y'all for the afterthoughts, where I will be reading comments on what all of you think about the events in this chapter, everything else, and then some more about the stuff we talked about here. But I just wanted to come on here since I knew I was going to have the opportunity to get the comments out in time, receive them, and then record the video, since I won't be able to record a video tomorrow besides my episode stuff. So I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and do this here and tonight. And then we'll be back with the afterthoughts on either Monday or Tuesday. So I will see y'all next time. It's just, man, this chapter was so crazy. And this is just one section of this magnificent chapter, but I just had to talk about it because the potential scenarios are so exciting when someone of this caliber is involved. And it's like when you think you can't get any higher, then finding out so much stuff where Dr. Vegapunk's presence by himself would have made this arc spectacular in and of itself. To have gotten everything else that surrounded that to be as good as it is, to have Final Saga Oda cooking at the highest level, is a dream. We have been living in a dream. Not just throughout the course of the series, but specifically throughout this arc. It has just been non-stop reveal, and twist, and twist, and twist, and twist, and twist. Who in all of Onigashima would have predicted this. So I just wanted to come on here and just ramble on for that, because I just haven't been able to stop thinking about it. And I needed the opportunity to talk about this. So I will see you all next time. Once again, for the afterthoughts, later on in the week, I'll be reading a lot of comments. And it's probably going to be another long one. But it's just this episode, this chapter was worth it. And since we're on break, it's like, yo, we need some more Go Piece. You know what I mean? And so I will see y'all then. Goodness gracious, bro. I still can't say J. Garcia Saturn. Man, if that dragon thing happens, though, yo, I'm telling you, bro, if the dragon scenario happens, oh, man, dude, that's going to be some of the best stuff in the entire series, bro, up until that point. And it's crazy because I had to stop myself from saying it's solidified chapter of the year. Brother, we could have, like, multiple chapters of the year this year. Post-Egghead Elbaf? Oh, my God, bro. When a potential dragon versus St. J. Garcia Saturn is about to take place, and you can't even like actually say that's going to be chapter of the year if that takes place, that's how you know we're in crazy stuff. There's just so much stuff happening right now, bro. It's cooking. I'm done. This chapter was phenomenal. It was absolutely insane. But I just had to talk about this, bro. So many interesting things, man. I just can't stop thinking about it, and I had to get these thoughts out there. So thank you so much for watching. I will see y'all next time. Goodness gracious.